In 1915, Paris, Texas was a thriving, growing city. On March 21, 1916, a devastating fire destroyed a large portion of the city, including most of the downtown business district. The courthouse, jail, post office, residential areas, and many downtown churches and businesses were destroyed. The origin of the fire is unknown, although it is believed to have begun at the S.J. Long warehouse on the southwestern side of the city. It spread northeast across the downtown area, causing an estimated $11 million in damage and leaving thousands of residents homeless. No fire department could have saved the city unless it had been immediately at hand when the fire was first seen. The southwest wind that had been blowing several days had dried everything, and grass and shingle roofs were like tinder. The warehouse was nearly consumed, and fires had started on roofs and in grass and in yards before the firemen were notified and could reach the place, which is nearly a mile from the fire station. Insurance experts investigating the fire said that the strong wind held the superheated air close to the ground and created a wave of radiant heat that fired buildings before the real flames reached them. As the fire came north, it spread fanwise, principally to the east, the west line starting almost due north, but veering with the wind, and in some cases held in check by the work of firemen or volunteers. It soon reached the more closely built part of the city, and in each building that blazed, added to the heat and fired others. The Gibraltar Hotel on South Main Street and the First National Bank on the northwest corner of the plaza contained reinforced concrete. Though the buildings were badly burned, the contents inside were undamaged and were soon repaired after the fire. The fire reached South Main Street at Washington Street and went no further south by favor of the wind and work of residents in that section. At 22nd Street, it had angled as far north as Sherman Street and crossed 23rd Street. Burning the courthouse, the fire went down North Main to Cherry Street on the west side and to Booth Street on the east side. Though damage from the fire was widespread, the loss of life was minimal. The citizens of the city were in shock, but were determined to salvage what they could and hopeful that a new city would emerge from the ashes. Mayor Ed McHouston had put hundreds of men to work clearing the streets, pulling down remains of brick walls and other similar labor. Private employers had other hundreds clearing spaces for temporary business buildings which were under limited permits. The Relief Committee went at its work systematically and gave orders for food, clothing, and furniture in reasonable amounts. No one was allowed to feel that charity was being given. Many volunteer firemen from local cities came to help extinguish the fire. A hose wagon from Hugo, Oklahoma came by rail and went to work at about 8:30 to help extinguish the blaze. An auto-driven hose wagon came from Bonham, Texas, 38 miles away. At 10 o'clock, a pumper and hose combination came from Cooper, Texas. Also, 7 firemen came from Honey Grove, and at 1 o'clock a big pumper and hose and crew of firemen reached Paris by the Santa Fe Railroad from Dallas, Texas. They all went to work together on the eastern edge of the fire, and they were very efficient in checking the spread of the blaze there. By 4 o'clock on the morning of March 22nd, the blaze had finally been extinguished. There would remain many questions to be asked for decades to come.